Thank you, Miranda, for what you're doing. Thank you for who you are that will cause you to act. Thank you. You're an inspiration to me and to so many others. An inspiration we desperately need. The dominant culture is killing the planet. It's long past time that those of us who care about life on Earth begin to take the actions necessary to stop civilization from destroying every living being. By now we all know the statistics and trends. 90% of large fish in the oceans are gone, 97% of native forests have been destroyed, as have 98% of native grasslands. There's 10 times as much plastic as phytoplankton in the oceans. Amphibian populations are collapsing, migratory songbird populations are collapsing, mollusk populations are collapsing, fish populations are collapsing, and so on. Have you noticed that you don't have to clean your windshield nearly as often as you used to? Even insect populations are collapsing. 200 species are driven extinct each and every day. This culture destroys land bases. That's what it does. Iraq used to have cedar forests so thick the sunlight never touched the ground. One of the first written myths of this culture is about Gilgamesh deforesting the hills and valleys of Iraq to build a great city. The Arabian Peninsula used to be oak savanna. The Near East was heavily forested. We've all heard of the cedars of Lebanon. Greece was heavily forested. North Africa was heavily forested. This culture destroys land bases, and it won't stop doing so because we ask nicely. Those who inherit whatever's left of the world once this culture has been stopped, whether through peak oil, economic collapse, ecological collapse, or the efforts of brave women and men resisting an alliance with the natural world, are going to judge us by the health of the land base, by what we leave behind. They're not going to care how you or I lived our lives, how hard we tried, or whether we were nice people. They're not going to care whether we were violent or non-violent. They're not going to care whether we grieved the murder of the planet. They're not going to care whether we were enlightened or not enlightened. They're going to care whether they can breathe the air and drink the water. The dominant culture cannot last. You cannot murder a planet and live on it too. This culture is reaching its endgame. There are no more continents to be discovered and exploited. We are seeing its collapse. But the question becomes, will it collapse when there is still life left on this planet? A great environmentalist and friend has often said to me why he does the work he does. We cannot predict the future, he says, and as things become increasingly chaotic, he wants to make sure some doors remain open. If sockeye salmon are alive in 10 years, he says, they may be around in 100. If they're gone in 10 years, they're gone forever. So he, like so many activists, is holding on by his fingernails, trying to save every last bit of wild nature, to save it as a refuge, a sanctuary from which life can return when this nightmare is over. In the face of the daily horrors created by this culture, people often ask me how I keep doing the work. The answer is that you help me persevere. People like you, Miranda, give me courage and give me strength. Your own courage and perseverance and love and brilliance comes through in your actions and in your words. You're an inspiration to me and to so many others, human and non-human alike. The forest knows what you're doing and loves you for it. Loves you with a passion and joy and fury and ecstasy and courage and perseverance that matches your own. Social change makes no pretense of being solitary. Revolutions and other forms of social change require organization, solidarity, cooperation. This cooperation extends through time and across species, as we in the resistance hold hands with Boudica, the witches, Tecumseh, Nat Turner, John Brown, Harriet Tubman, Lao Tse, Wesley Everest, Kartar Singh Sarabha, Maud Gunn, Eugene Debs, Eric Musem, Sophie Scholl, Hannah Sinesh, Ken Sarwi with a movement for the emancipation of the Niger Delta, polar bears, wolves, chimpanzees, salmon, tuna. Through all of my own work, my hand is extended, and I want you to take that hand if you wish, and to take the hands of all these others and draw what strength you can from each of us, and to take up where each of us has left off. But as you do this, make sure to keep all these hands in only one of yours. You'll need to keep your other hand free to make a fist or pick up a weapon, whether that weapon's pen, paintbrush, pistol, sabat, or whatever other weapon you will need to use in order to use your gifts in the service of your land base, in the service of stopping this culture from destroying life on Earth. The time for waiting is long since done. It's time to act. We're all supporting you and counting on you. The planet needs you. Not only words matter, but so do actions, and so do you. Through all of this, we need courage, which you obviously have aplenty, Miranda. The word courage comes from the same root as corps, the French word for heart. In order to face down this culture, we need all the courage of which the human heart is capable, forged into both weapon and shield to defend what's left of the planet. And the lifeblood of courage is, of course, love. So it's very clear to me and to everyone else that you're filled with courage. It's just as clear to me that you're full of love. And the songbirds and the salmon need your heart, no matter how weary, because even a broken heart is still made of love. They need your heart because they're disappearing, slipping into that longest night of extinction, and the resistance is nowhere in sight. We're going to have to build that resistance from whatever comes to hand, from whispers and prayers, history and dreams, from our bravest words and braver actions. It'll be hard and there'll be a cost, and in too many implacable dawns it will seem impossible, but we'll have to do it anyway. So I'd like for those listening to this to gather your heart and join with Miranda and join with every living being. With love as our first cause, how can we fail?